Welcome to the Panic Room after another shit show of a fantasy football week. How's everybody doing tonight?
What's up, Corey?
We're reeling.
Oh man, it's what a week. What a week. It's just been a wild season. This season has been so annoying. But it's kept me on my toes because you just don't know what to expect week in and week out, and it's kept leagues very competitive. So, woo, good times. Tony, how'd you manage this week?
Had a pretty good week. Some up, some down, but overall, a good week for me.
Yeah, it was another one of those weeks where the bottom teams usually did pretty good, so I'm proud of you there. Kyle, how was your overall look this week?
Miles Sanders almost cost me a couple.
He cost me a couple.
That I was playing against. It's tough out there. Josh Jacobs almost cost me one.
Yep.
But we survived another week.
Oof. Here we are. Made it to the end of week 12. We got Albert up in the house. We got Sahel up in here. Sahel, I think I owe you a jersey. I've got it setting out here, I swear. My kid's been out of school for 3 weeks, and it's just thrown off my entire schedule. Ooh, ouch. All right, let's see. Sahel says, got to win next week and have the most points for to make the playoffs. Ugh. Hope that works out for you, man. I mean, I wonder how far behind in the points for category you are. Are you able to catch the guy, or are you already ahead? You just got to hold it. I'm also gonna switch Tony and myself. There we go. Tony needs to be on top corner there. There he is. All right. Let's see.
Corey's clearly a bottom, anyways.
That's. I don't even know what to say to that. I was gonna try, and I just couldn't. I couldn't come up with anything to say to that. All right, let's see. Do I have this set ready to go? Is there a board made up here, Kyle? Yeah. Why is it not updating? Come on, I'm trying to learn technology. It's really hard.
Is it not updating?
It's on my end. There we go.
Oh.
There we go. There's our panic room right there. Got our panics and our parts. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, he's ahead. He's just got to hold. So you just got to outscore the guy. Still. Good. Love it. Awesome. All right, guys. Let's talk about some of these potential panics. First up on the list, let's go with Dameon Pierce. Tony, how do you feel about Mr. Pierce?
Disaster.
Yeah. Rough. It's rough out there.
Disaster. That whole offense is a disaster. You know, they're playing for Perkins now. They want the number 1 overall pick in the 2023 draft, and they just look. I mean, they made a quarterback change. Couldn't get anything going until late in the third quarter, and you know his numbers have been steadily dropping in that offense.
Yeah,
it's a very, very inefficient, poor offense that provides very limited scoring opportunities for Dameon Pierce right now.
Yeah, last week and this week it kind of just bottomed out. Like, he's the only thing they got to stop. These defenses have to stop, and they're doing it now. So, yeah, total panic on Dameon Pierce. You can't use him right now.
How sad, because he was looking so good.
He's so good, but he just, when you're trying to run versus 11, because they don't have to respect the passing game at all. It's tough. It's tough out there, man.
It is tough out there. Oh, we got Logan up in here. He said, tied with this dude because Farmouth did bad. And I'm going to end up losing because the other guy's reserves got more points. Ouch.
Oh, wow. That's a shitty tiebreaker.
Yeah, his bench just happens to be better. Rough. What's your preferred tiebreaker? Quarterback points?
Quarterback points are usually my go-to.
Tony,
I guess I say go-to is kind of the default.
Yeah. Tony, is that kind of your preferred / default?
For tiebreakers?
Yeah.
I don't like using the reserves. I don't like. Very rarely do you have guys in your reserves necessarily because you're trying to win tiebreakers. Right. Handcuffs. It could be So I think that's an unfair way to do it. I don't really don't have a preferred way. I just don't want to do reserves. Either do quarterback or find another way to do a tiebreaker.
Rock, paper, scissors,
Something like
Rochambeau.
Sock'em robots.
Good old Rochambeau. Alrighty, let's talk about a very controversial topic. Well, maybe not now, but it was CMC. Kyle, how you feel about CMC now?
Yeah, he's had a couple rough weeks. I'm not panicked on him, though. I mean, he's still the starting running back in a run-first offense. There's going to be ups and downs. I know we got a text from old Scotty Wishlist after the game the other day because he was talking about how worried he was Sunday morning, but I'm not worried. The only thing I might be a little worried about is it seems like he's a little banged up again. But as far as him in this offense, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, but now that Elijah Mitchell's gone out of the
way. Now that Mitchell's gone, it's even better, yeah.
Yeah, it makes me feel a little bit better. I'm guessing he kind of feels the same way there now that Elijah Mitchell's hurt again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Tony, how do you feel?
For the season this time.
Yeah. Tony, how do you feel about CMC now?
Well, I was kind of, all those guys who were laughing a couple weeks ago when CMC went off for 3 touchdowns, one land, one air, and one passing,
one by sea.
Oh, crazy! Yeah. He's going to finish as the #1 fantasy player on the season, and now they're kind of eating those words a little bit. Look, with Elijah Mitchell healthy, this entire offense is a nightmare. It's because they've got too many options. You've got Debo, you've got Kittle, you've got Ayuk now coming on, then you've got Mitchell and sharing carries with McCaffrey. So didn't like him at all. I don't know that you can trust any one player in this offense. With Mitchell out rest of season, certainly that helps McCaffrey, but he's dealing now, looks like, with tendonitis. He had knee irritation, had the brace on. I call it a contraption during the game. It's very likely that they're going to put this guy in a pitch count, and really they're going to try and make a push for the Super Bowl. So they're not thinking about regular season. They're thinking about playoffs. I can't imagine this guy's going to get a bell cow workload. I think they're going to limit him 10, 15 touches, maybe a game. And with that tendonitis in the knee, you lose a lot of your burst, that acceleration. So he's not going to be as explosive. Yeah, I'm panicked on CMC. I don't. If I have CMC and I could get a buyer on him, I guess it's too late because trade deadline's over. But
yeah, it's tough.
I don't think you're going to be able to trust him.
Yeah, I tend to agree there. That I don't know what's up with that offense. You have that many weapons, it shouldn't be that big of a clusterfuck. You should be able to do something besides 13 points against a bad defense.
It's not that type of team though. This is
annoying.
This is a 1980s style, built offense. It's ball control and just kill you on D. That's their
what's
team.
Crazy is that their personnel isn't built that way. Their personnel is for this high-flying, high-scoring offense, and then they play like that, and it's
Garoppolo kind of built that way. But this defense is ridiculous. This is an old school defense. Look, Saints haven't been shut out for 21 years. 21 years. Frisco shut them out. So, Anyway, I'm panicked. Me personally, I'm panicked on him.
Yeah, I think that injury that he's hurt as well. I think is what makes me panic a little bit on him. And by panic, I mean he's not meeting the expectations that I expect out of CMC, that I need out of CMC. It's not that he's not producing. He's probably still going to get you 15 fantasy points a game, which is still better than most running backs, I understand. But he's not getting you what you need and expect from a CMC type player and what he should be getting in that offense. If utilized what I would say is correctly. But yeah, I'm not trusting that. That injury makes me nervous just because of his injury history, and now he's got something lingering. I don't like that at all. And I agree. No, and I agree with your pitch count. I think they're going to do. I mean, obviously they wanted to do that when they had Elijah Mitchell, and you know how they are. They've got so many running backs, next man up. They'll just put somebody else in there. I'm guessing they wish they had Jeff Wilson still, but
yeah, right. Well, I think if they were trying to get to the playoffs, it's different.
Yeah.
But they're jockeying for seeding right now. This is now one of the favorites to go to the Super Bowl, at least the NFC Championship game, and that's what they're thinking.
Yep. All right. Albert wants to know panic meter on Mike Evans. He's on the list here. Tony, what do you think about Mike Evans?
I think this is kind of the Mike Evans that I've grown to know. He's a boomer bust type receiver in this offense. Godwin is back healthy. He's the volume guy in the slot. This team wants to run the football. They're kind of like built similar to the Niners. Ball control. They utilize that running back an awful lot. I think Rachaad White had 9 catches yesterday out of the backfield. So you're going to get these boomer bust games from Evans, and with that defense that they play, it's they don't get that often into negative game scripts where they got to air it out to Evans.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with the boomer bust. How do you think?
Yeah, I'm on board with that. I mean, you come to expect he's going to have some slumps, and I mean, no, I think he goes in the other column.
My bad. Yep, I always do that wrong. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have slumps like this. It is what it is. I know he didn't have much against Cleveland, but they ran the crap out of the ball because they didn't need to throw it.
Yep.
And they're going to have some matchups here down the stretch where they're going to need to throw it, and he may have better games. But yeah, he's just not a consistent receiver.
Yep.
You want consistency, go with Godwin.
Yep. I agree with that. Godwin is definition of consistent, and his floor is really high, and so
Godwin will get you 12 to 15 every single week.
Every day.
Evans will get you the occasional, 20 to 25, but he's going to have a lot of 10 and unders.
Yeah. Let's see. Sahel says traded away Brady, Andrews, Pacheco, Foreman, and got Kelsey, Tua, Mike Evans, Brian Robinson. Literally just did the trade for Tua and Kelsey because I already got Saquon, K9, and Jones. Bro, I don't mind getting Kelsey there at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Yep. I like that, actually. You kind of pointed it out there. It's just Kelsey and Tua right there, pretty much.
Speaking of Brian Robinson, I want one of those big hats.
Plus, he has a Jay Jettas and CD. Let's see. It's one of those years this team playoffs. Yeah, exactly. Jorge is now 9-3. Yeah, let's go. Let's see. Debo with ball with Mitchell hurt now. Yeah, Debo. You think more carries now, Tony?
Yeah, I mean possibly. Well, they activated Coleman. I think they're going to kind of beef up that running back room. But sure, I think that's very possible. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it.
Yeah, maybe they'll go. I know Melvin Gordon was just signed to the practice squad over by the Chiefs, but maybe he ends up over there. They like those old injury-prone running backs over there in Niners land, so maybe they'll go get some Melvin Gordon. Let's see. What up, Network? What up, Mr. Sarcastic? 7-5, 4-game win streak. Oh, I love that push for the playoff. Well done, sir. Well done. Trading D Cook and Freiermuth for Jefferson this week. Guy needs a running back. Okay. I'll have Walker and JT and Singletary. Who do I pick up? Waiver. Hasty or Snell? That's the best you got is Hasty or Snell?
Yeah, I'm not loving either one of those.
Eek. That's rough. That's really rough.
I mean, do we know anything about Najee's injury?
Not yet. Not that I know of.
And they already said ETN's going to be fine for next week. So
yeah. My guess is
with either of them, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that Najee's going to be out long.
If you can't trust Najee in that offense, you're not going to be able to trust Snell.
Yeah, just because he scored tonight or whatever doesn't mean that's it going forward. So I would look for better options. Sushi's got Christian Watson won me my week. Who knew, right? Yeah. Like, who knew that would be the thing? That's fantastic. Let's see. I got.
Yeah, I know I didn't put Watson on the list, but I do have Lazard. But honestly, it's kind of the whole passing game right now with Aaron Rodgers potentially missing the rest of the season. I don't think they've officially shut him down yet, but
Well, he said he'll play as long as they're mathematically eligible for the playoffs.
We'll see how it goes, but with a broken thumb and
I'm just saying, Christian Watson scored his touchdown with Love, not with Aaron Rodgers.
Well, maybe he'll be fine, but
I'm gonna go with Alan.
I'm off with Lazard now.
Yeah, I think Lazard I'm panicked on. Tony, are you kind of agreeing with that?
100%.
Perfect. We keep talking about him a lot, Debo, and it kind of goes with the next one here. Jorge asks, I got Debo and Mike Evans. Who do I trade? I know we got Mike Evans on our part, and how are we feeling about Debo overall? Kyle?
Well, I think we still got to pardon him too, because like we mentioned, I think they're going to lean on him a little bit more now if McCaffrey is hurt and now they don't have Mitchell, and I think they end up leaning on him a little bit more. So I'm not panicking on Debo still.
Okay, Tony, how do you feel about Mr. Samuel?
Well, I think this is the one who benefits most out of the Mitchell injury and what's happening with CMC's knee is probably Debo Samuel. So,
yep.
This guy's a proven commodity, and I can't imagine Shanahan doesn't get this guy going, especially as they're ramping up into the kind of that playoff mindset. So, yeah, I'm pardoning Debo, and let's kind of see what Mike Shanahan has in store for him this week.
Yep, no doubt about that.
One guy I wanted to throw out there real quick, if I could, because someone was asking about the running backs, Hasty, and is the kid from the Jets.
Zonovan Knight.
Yeah, they've got one of the best remaining schedules for running backs. Michael Carter, I'm not sure what's going on with him, but it could be he has a high ankle sprain. He could miss multiple weeks. And James Robinson is buried on the depth chart now, so that guy could be a sneaky ad.
Yeah,
just somebody kind of a name I was mentioning.
I'd rather have him than those other ones for sure.
I think Michael Carter, they said, has a low ankle sprain, not a high ankle sprain. So
then I stand corrected. So I would just keep an eye on that. Warren is due back next week too, by the way, for snow.
I mean, he's still worth looking at. Knight is.
I mean, Carter could still miss, a week or two, even with a low ankle sprain. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know Ty Johnson got a little bit of work and was pretty effective with it, but Knight seems to be the clear number 2. So that's worth looking at for sure. Let's see. Which one?
What happened? Oh, he froze. See if I can find where we left off in the chat here. Oh, Jorge wants to know if Claypool will show up now that Mooney's done for the season. I think it depends on the health of Justin Fields.
Yep, read my mind.
Yeah, if he's healthy and comes back and plays, then I think Claypool could have some decent games. Which I'm hoping he does, because I got some Field stock that I traded for literally the week he got hurt. So I'm really hoping he comes back and makes that worth it. And we're back.
Hey, there we go. Man, well, this is a brand new computer, so now we know it's my internet and not my computer. So that's cool.
Yeah, we covered the Claypool question.
Okay. Yep, that was the next one. What'd y'all say about Claypool? That a big no?
Just totally depends on the health of Justin Fields.
Yeah. Yep.
I wouldn't trust anyone catching footballs from Trevor Siemian. So
nope.
Fields is healthy. I'm all over Claypool. I love him.
That's not true. I trust the DBs on the opposing team to catch balls from Siemian.
Right.
So some can be trusted. Let's see. Let's see. King Marcella had the same. Do I trust Debo anymore? I might have to play Pickens or DPJ. I think we just kind of covered Debo. I think you can trust him more going forward now.
Yeah.
That Elijah Mitchell injury helps him probably more than
But
anyone.
I also don't hate playing Peoples Jones with Watson coming back.
That's no joke. That could look really good for him. Do I try and get Godwin or Watson?
Godwin.
Yeah, Godwin. You can trust more. And like we were talking about earlier with Watson, don't know who the quarterback's going to be going forward there. Don't know how bad that injury is going to be when they're going to shut down Rodgers. So, Jorge says no Melvin. He's glue on his clothes or something.
Well, Melvin actually got signed by the Chiefs already.
To their practice squad. That's what he said earlier, I think. Let's see. King said started 3-1, then lost 6 straight. No, 1 2 straight. Trying to make that last push. Oh, good luck to you, man.
It's been one of those years.
That's tough. Yep. I'm in one of my leagues. I started 8-1. I'm like going to be 8-4 right now. I've lost 3 straight. I lost Cooper Kupp, and now I'm just like struggling to just keep
downhill
it going.
Slide.
Last year in that same league, I was 6-1 and lost like 7 straight. It was just the roughest thing. It was trash. Injuries get you. Knight got 14 carries. Ty Johnson 5 only. Oh well, yeah. Knight seems to be the guy. Knight and Claypool picks up this week.
Here's the thing too, though, Jorge. Not only did Knight get 14 carries, he also had 3 targets, 3 catches. He was actually three receptions on 3 targets
for 34 yards, which is pretty
34
decent.
yards. So to Ty Johnson's 1 catch.
Yep. Unfortunately, he fumbled the ball once, but he didn't lose it. So
okay, good.
Win some and you lose some, right? All right, let's cover a couple more of these fellows over here. While we're kind of talking about running backs, let's talk about Donta Foreman. Tony, what do you think about Donta Foreman?
Depends who they're playing.
Yeah, he's the most matchup-dependent running back of the season, I think.
No joke. The hell is up with that?
He finished. What did he finish? I don't know where he finished in the final RB standings, but he's kind of bounced up and down. He's been top 10, then bottom 40, top 10, bottom 40. He kind of is basically a very much matchup dependent boomer bust type running back. When he has a nice matchup, he's a solid RB2 though.
Would you say that he's the Mike Evans of running backs?
Worse. He might be a little bit more boomer bust than Mike Evans. But yeah,
he was the 27th running back this week.
Yeah, and what was he last week? He was top 10.
No.
Yeah, it's just like he'll give you 30 in a really cake matchup, and he'll get you 5 in everything else.
I was going to say, it goes from week 6, it goes 1.9, then 16.5, 31.8, 4.1, 19, 2.4,
exactly, yeah,
11.3. It's just like, oh my God.
So he's on the ends of the spectrum. He doesn't play in the middle at all.
No.
He's what we would call, he's kind of a double whammy running back in that he's matchup dependent and game script dependent.
Yeah, he really is. Because Chuba Hubbard's getting way more work than I expected.
Yeah, not just that, but when Carolina's behind, I think a couple of weeks ago, what is this, week 12? Last week, they were in drop back mode for 75% of the snaps.
Yeah,
and so it's hard to score when your team's constantly passing the ball to try and play catch up.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, because they're not throwing it for me.
Definitely not.
All right, let's talk about. Oh wait, so we're putting him in.
On him. I don't know that we panic on him. We know what to expect from Foreman, right?
Yeah. Just temper expectations. Let's talk about Tony Pollard now with Zeke coming back and getting some workload. Kyle, or my fellow Dallas Cowboy fan, how do you feel about Tony Pollard?
Well, it's kind of a similar deal. Like, you can't panic on him because you got to know, like, this is his role when Zeke is healthy. Yeah, we got a couple of nice games when Zeke was out, which has been rare in Zeke's career for him to miss games anyways.
Very rare.
So, you're not panicked on him. You just know, like, hey, he's not going to get RB1 numbers as long as Zeke is healthy.
No doubt. I mean, temper expectations again. It was nice to see the flash of brilliance while Zeke was out, but we're right back at it now. And it seems like they found their lightning and thunder and how to balance that usage of the both of them. And
they did a better job this week. Yeah.
So
might finally start figuring it out.
Maybe. Tony, how do you feel about Pollard?
Well, Pollard was on a sell high candidate last week in Wall Street. I was surprised. I'm surprised a little bit by Kyle's take. I was surprised to see, even with Zeke back, Pollard touch the ball 20 times. And so if Pollard's going to touch the ball 20 times a game, what are we panicked on? He's not going to put. He can't put up number one RB overall numbers every week. So he didn't get into the end zone, which kind of dinged him a little bit in terms of
Zeke.
production. Yeah, but if I were to tell you that Pollard's going to touch the ball 20 times a game, you're going to be with Zeke back. You'd be pretty excited.
I mean, he touched the ball more than Zeke did. Zeke touched the ball 17 times, and Pollard touched it 20 times.
Yeah, he's just not going to get those goal line carries.
Right. Yep.
Right.
So
that's a fair concern.
Yep. Because, we also saw that against Minnesota, those goal lines.
But he will bust some long ones though. So
man, he sure will. He'll rack it up.
Not every game, obviously, but he'll get you some.
Right. I agree with you. Let's see.
I'd still rather have Pollard on the season than DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, weird.
100%.
Oh, Jesus. Yes. I just saw that JT has a week 14 bye. So do I trade D Cook for Jefferson and play Singletary?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I would. Yeah, you're what, 9-3? You said.
Yeah, you'll make playoffs.
I'm not worried about this 1 week.
Yeah, me either. Singletary's a fine fill-in for a bye.
Yeah. And I'm going to give you shit, and I'm just going to say, so you have Javonte Williams and Singletary as backups. It's a fine backup there.
Javonte or Jamal?
It'll be Jamal. I'm just giving him crap. Let's see. Clazo. What's up, Clazo, by the way? Didn't see you there with that mask on your face. Paris Campbell giving me 3 points. Mahomes giving me only 15. Just a terrible week for my elite team. Lost by 6.8. Jeez. Still that close, even with a terrible week.
Just a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad week.
Dude, it's been that kind of year. It's been that kind of year. I've seen just horrible teams just take great rosters to the woodshed week in and week out. And I look through half of my leagues, and the top team in there, I'm like, I wouldn't trade my team for theirs, and they're 4 games ahead of me in first place. Like, how? Yeah. I don't understand it. It's like I would not trade rosters with them, and they're still that far ahead of me. So I trade spots with them, but not rosters. Let's see. Trying to get Schultz, Sutton, Jay Williams for Higbee, Mike Evans, or Debo, good or bad? Okay, dissect this here. Let's see.
I feel like he just takes punctuation, just throws them out there and see where they land.
That one. Okay.
Trying to get Schultz. But let me ask you about this trade that has nothing to do with Schultz real quick.
Trying to get Schultz, Sutton, Jamal Williams for Higbee, Mike Evans, or Debo, good or bad? I don't understand this right now. Am I crazy?
No, I don't understand what he's asking there either.
Okay, try that again, Jorge. Try that again, and we'll figure it out. As Chiefs fan, it'd be your own people making you lose weeks. Oh, dude, yes, that hurts. I hate when your own team lets you down, in not only in real life, but then in fantasy. Luckily, the Chiefs came through. The Chiefs really struggled this week against the Rams more than I figured they would. That was kind of hard to watch.
That's one of those situations where your team is so bad that you bring your opponent down with you, kind of a thing, maybe?
Probably something like that. Damn, I dropped 160. I thought it was a great week. Yeah.
I think Corey meant to put a comma after Schultz, by the way, and I'm trying to say that I was on mute.
Oh, got it.
Trading Schultz, Sutton, and Jamal Williams for Higbee, Mike Evans, or Debo.
Oh, got it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, so trying to get Schultz, Sutton, and Jamal Williams for Higbee or Mike Evans or Debo is like one or the other. So Schultz, Sutton. And he's on the Schultz, Sutton, Jamal Williams side. Those are his players trying to get Higbee.
No, he has Higbee and Evans. I know that from his.
Got it.
Yeah, he's moving Higbee and Evans or Higbee and Debo for those 3 players.
I love like moving from Higbee to Schultz, but I'm not big on Evans or Debo for Sutton and Jamal Williams. You don't need the running back, and I'm not big on Sutton the rest of the year. That offense is an absolute travesty. Sutton ain't doing anything, and Judy's missing games. In fact, I have him on the list.
I don't think I'm doing that. Which one are you doing, Kyle? Cortland Sutton?
Cortland Sutton made the list. He's on my panic list. Honestly, you can go and scroll down to tight ends and grab Dulcich too. Like, I'm off this whole offense right now. Judy's out, and neither one of these guys are doing anything. I don't know. Latavius Murray as a flex is about your only shot at doing anything with these guys this year.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out there. Tony, do you agree these guys are just worthless at the moment?
Well, first off, I very much appreciate Kyle's bundling. He's
Tony likes a 2-for-1 and 3-for-1 deal.
It's Cyber Monday, guys. It's Cyber Monday.
We picked up with the bundling concept, which I really appreciate.
Get your Broncos bundles here.
Yeah, I think Dulcich had 1 or 2 really nice games.
Yeah.
And we kind of maybe got a little carried away with him. But as far as Cortland Sutton is concerned, I'm not necessarily so down on him. They're definitely playing from behind. They don't have a whole lot going on offense outside of Sutton. I would just kind of temper that depending on the situation with Judy's injury. If Judy's injury is serious enough where he's going to miss extended time, then that definitely, for me, puts Sutton in the low end or wide receiver 2 range.
Yeah, I'm going to say these guys suck.
I'm not panicked on them, so I can at least say that.
I mean, I think I'm not panicked necessarily on Sutton. It's because I gave up on Sutton already. So I'm not panicked on him because I've already kicked him to the curb.
He was a leading receiver, 6 catches for 75 yards, so it's not a bad game.
Sucks.
Okay.
I'm kidding. No, I mean, he is putting, in the last 3 games, he's putting up 12 plus points.
Yeah, right? That's what he's good for.
That's decent. That's because it's consistent, at least. Now, before that, he wasn't, but he had 3 down games before that, but then he was good all before that. So it's just a little bit streaky. It's just streaky. So, and I'm going to take a quick moment to just point out my shirt that I have and no one else has won because no one joins us on DraftKings over the weekend. So come join us on our DraftKings competition. Join us Tuesday night. Get entered in to enter our free DraftKings competition every weekend and win one of these t-shirts for free. We're doing it all for free. So join us tomorrow night. FF Interactive.
4 weeks now we've done this, and not one person besides me and Corey has joined. We haven't given away a single shirt yet.
And we're not good.
One person to join, and you could literally win a free T-shirt without hardly any effort.
You just got to set a lineup, essentially. I suck at it, so you're going to beat me. Just come have some fun and win a free T-shirt. These shirts are so sweet. All right, let's get back over here to the chat real quick.
But Jorge, to answer your question, no, I wouldn't do that deal. I'd find something else to put with Higbee to try to get Schultz.
Yep. Sahel wants to know, do you guys think Aaron Jones is now a certified top running back? I'll punt to you there, Tony. Professor.
Who are we talking about here?
Aaron Jones.
If he's a certified top running back?
Yeah.
Got every 3 games for the last 4 years, yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily put him as a certified top running back. I definitely say he's in the RB1 category. He's probably, to me, a low-end RB1. He tends to be a little bit more boom bust, with his history. I'm concerned depending on what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, and how that impacts the offense. So I don't really know what to kind of anticipate from Aaron Jones if they shut Rodgers down. I don't know what that offense looks like with Jordan Love.
I think we got a glimpse of it this week. Dylan finally had a good week.
Yeah.
He did okay like weeks 1. I guess it was just week 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was week 1.
I started to say weeks 1 and 2, but it was just week 1. He had a good game, and he finally had another one this week now that everybody's dropped him everywhere.
Against Philadelphia.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah. I would say I like Aaron Jones. I don't know, like Tony said, I don't know if he's certified top running back, but he's startable.
I'd still have him in maybe that 12 to 15 range still. Like, he's not – I don't think he's a top 10 guy still.
Clayzo said he got 251 points on Sleeper. You either have some crazy scoring.
Wow.
I know some we have IDP and still don't get that much. That's crazy. But I know like someone else was bragging to me about how many points they were scoring on their team and stuff. They sent us pictures of the roster. They had like 4 flex spots on top of their other. It's like, well, no kidding. You're scoring a lot of points. You're starting 4 more players than most teams. Like, it's crazy. Let's see. Higbee with either or Mike Evans and Devo. Yep. Yeah, English is the easiest way for us to communicate most of the time. So Hill thinks that's crazy, Clayzo. Yeah, 251. Let's see.
Who was that?
I don't know what that was, but
that sounded like something that should have been on the Halloween episode. Holy crap, that was creepy.
That wasn't one of you guys?
It wasn't me.
Oh, I don't know what that was. That was creepy.
Really funny.
That was weird. Creepy. We're haunted. Let's see. They didn't struggle driving down the field. They couldn't get in the red zone. They went like 1 of 5 in the red zone. Who are we talking about here? I don't can't remember what team that is that we're talking about there. Couldn't get in the end zone. But you want that kicker. Whoever sucks in the red zone, you want that kicker. That was the Buccaneers early in the season. AJ up in here being our cheerleader. I like it. Hit the like button. Please do that. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We love you. Also, come tomorrow night. We're giving away free stuff again. What are we giving away? A Cam Akers jersey tomorrow night. Signed Cam Akers jersey for free. Be there. It'll be a lot of fun.
I'll tell you almost forgot, and it's literally on the screen. Scrolling across the bottom.
Reading is hard. Kyle, I told you this. I'm so embarrassed I can't read, and you just keep pointing it out. Dak Watson, Fields, rest of season. Dak Watson, Fields, rest of season. Dak Watson, Fields, rest of season.
I like Dak Watson, Fields, rest of season. I'd rank them the reverse of what you got them listed there. Fields, Watson, Dak. I love me some Dak, but, I mean, they're running the ball a lot.
I don't know what to think about Watson yet. I haven't seen him. I'm going to guess he's probably going to have the same sort of style as Fields, just running the ball and scrambling a lot and stuff, but haven't seen him in NFL play for quite some time, and it's a different level. So I don't know. Tony, how do you feel about that quarterback?
I personally pump Watson to the top. Fields, first off, is injured. I'm not quite sure what is going to be his situation rest of the season. I'm very nervous about Fields. I can see them almost shutting him down. We think they've found their franchise quarterback, so why risk him for any further injury to that non-throwing shoulder? And then he lost, one of his top receivers in Darnell Mooney. So I think that's kind of a double ding for me on Fields. Not that I don't like Fields, I do. But when you look at Watson, I mean, this guy we forget how good he is. And he's got talent around him with Chubb, with Amari Cooper, with Donovan Peoples-Jones, with Njoku, who made a ridiculous catch in the end zone on Sunday. I don't know if you guys saw that catch. So, I like Watson an awful lot. I would put Watson, Dak, and then Fields.
Interesting. Here's a question. Give me your hot take on this. Is Justin Fields' career kind of going to work out like RG3? He comes in and has a decent season, and then people figure him out, and he's done the next year.
No, I think RG3 is kind of like, at least when he was with the Redskins, was more of a mental infant. I don't know that he's still the same way, but he was very immature.
I think injuries hurt RG3 a lot too. Zapped a lot.
He got hurt a lot. He wasn't smart about the hits he took at all.
Yeah, the injuries zapped his legs with RG3.
Definitely, but he was also just very self-absorbed. One of the only guys I think who made an own documentary on himself on his comeback from his from his knee injury. So
he's crushing it as an analyst, though. Can we just say that real quick? Like he's killing it as a commentating booth.
Yeah, no, I think he
was.
When he was playing, it was a different time.
He wasn't built for the NFL.
But no, I don't think we're going to see that. I think Fields is a different type of quarterback. He's wired differently.
And now they're finally shaping the offense around his strengths. I feel like it's really helping. It's really
and it's not a knee injury; it's his non-throwing shoulder.
Yeah. We got a question over here on IG. Should I trade CMC for Jamar Chase?
Depends on if you need a running back or a receiver more.
Would you say that's fair value?
This week, but I think it's fair value, yeah.
What's the best ability there, Professor?
Availability. But best ability is availability. But we could see McCaffrey largely unavailable with this knee tendonitis. I would be moving CMC, yes. I think if you can get Jamar Chase, I am concerned just because I want to see him back on the field before I actually pull a trigger on a deal. But if you feel confident that Jamar Chase is going to be back starting this week, then it's hard to get an elite receiver with a guy who I think is going to disappoint a lot of fantasy owners down the stretch.
Yep. And Jamar Chase, well, both of them have great playoff schedules. Jamar Chase doesn't have a great playoff schedule, but that running back schedule for Mixon and P. Ryan is horrible, so they're going to be throwing the ball, I think, a lot more. It's going to be pretty good. All right. When you're 8-4 and had Brees, Javonte, Russ, Akers, Pitts, and Mitchell. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Way to pull that off. Waiver wire king this year.
I had a team full of studs that are 4-8. So
yeah, true story. It's been that year. Jorge's still on this trade. I'm going to offer Mike Evans, Higbee for Schultz, Juju, or Johnson. I need Schultz. LOL. Yep. I'd
rather have Juju than Johnson, but I don't love that deal still.
Yeah. Or Schultz for Mike Evans straight up.
No.
I wouldn't do that either. May just not match up there. Evans or Godwin rest of season from Dan. What up, Dan? Lieutenant Dan.
I want Godwin.
I think I trust Godwin more. And we know Tony wants Godwin more. Let's see. Chad, I'm trying to see who I should pair with Kenneth Walker to trade for Tyreek.
I wouldn't be trading Kenneth Walker. I mean, I see his deal down below. He says he's trying to trade Godwin, Walker, Evans, and Walker for Tyreek. His running backs are JT, Mixon, and Najee. His receivers are DK, Evans, and Pittman. If he trades Godwin,
so
Walker,
you're trying to trade for Tyreek, and you want to know who to add to Kenneth Walker. Is that the question?
I mean, you got DK, Evans, Godwin, and Pittman. You don't need you don't need Tyreek, I don't think, bad enough to trade Kenneth Walker. Walker, JT, and Mixon is a pretty nice little trio. Try to trade Najee and one of them guys for Ty. I don't think you'll get him anyways, but
I don't think you're going to be able to get him.
I think I'd rather have I'd keep a hold of Walker.
Yeah, maybe Evans and Mixon or Evans and Najee, but I wouldn't put Walker in that deal if you don't have to. That's tough. That's tough.
I would do. I mean, if you were going to trade one of those guys, personally, I would do Pittman. I would do Pittman and Walker. It would be nice to have Tyreek, but you are overpaying for Tyreek if you're giving Walker and a Pittman type.
Yeah, I'd much rather give Mixon, like Mixon Evans or Mixon Pittman.
I agree. Walker's the best running back there on them. I agree. I'd rather give.
I don't think anybody's going to trade for Najee, but use Mixon. His schedule's terrible.
Well, if he does Najee and Evans, maybe, but
maybe.
Guy's going to need a.
But keep DK, keep Godwin.
Yep.
Keep Walker.
Yeah.
The only thing you got there that I'm not crazy about is you got Walker and DK.
Well, he's got Godwin and Evans too. I'd rather try to get rid of.
I'd rather have DK and. I mean, do Mixon and
have them
DK.
both go off though.
Yeah, it's tough.
Do Mixon and DK then and get something with Hill, but
you need to diversify your portfolio. Good sir.
I wouldn't.
Oh, let's see. Foster Moreau, Hayden Hurst, Hunter Henry, only tight ends available that seem okay. Not great. Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill said it's hurt, isn't he? And Dan, correctly said it was just cramping at the end of the game. He's fine. Just being a big old wussy. Trade JT for CMC. I wouldn't.
JT.
Yeah, I want JT there. Where's my phone charger? Yeah. Tony, you agree you want JT over CMC right now?
Yeah, just with CMC's injury.
Yep.
You know, with the knee rotation, tendonitis, they could shut him down for a couple of weeks. Yeah. Remember, this is all about the playoffs now. They're locking up a playoff spot. So
playoffs.
These guys healthy.
I'm talking about playoffs. Actually, we are.
Playoffs.
On my 251, I have like plus 4 points for 40. Okay. Yeah, so Josh Jacobs gave me 71 points. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, Maddie traded me Walker for AJ Brown. Yeah, I bet AJ Brown's been a real disappointment lately. I know because he's letting me down a lot. He's an Eagle. I shouldn't have been surprised. This is part of the one we were talking about. Where do you rank Ramondre Stevenson now that Damian Harris is going to miss time?
Oh, Ramondre is a top 10 guy this year.
I liked Stevenson before Damian Harris was missing time. So now that Damian Harris is missing time, my goodness.
Yeah. Love Stevenson.
I'd say top 10. Tony, you agree? Tony's like, I can name 20 guys I'd like before Ramondre Stevenson, just off the top of my head.
I might put him higher than that.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're thinking about, I'm trying to think of guys that I would like to have over Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre Stevenson has been sneaky good. And you utilize so much in the passing game, with those receptions, gives such a high floor. So there are a bunch of guys that I would rank him over that might surprise you. So I would probably even put him in my top 7, top 8.
Yep. One of the guys I'm thinking I would put him over for me is Mr. Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Well, and Kamara. I'd have him over both of them.
Yep. So I know that sounds a little bit crazy to a lot of people, but.
Well, and Kamara was on – me and Corey put him on the panic list last week, but I put him on here again because I wanted to hear Tony's take. But yeah, both of these guys. I mean, Cook is in a slump. He'll have better games, but it's just not the volume rushing attack workloads we've seen for Cook in the past.
Honestly, I didn't even see this. This was the next chat from Jorge. Panic on D Cook. That's hilarious. Okay, so we're on it now. So keep going. That's so funny.
Yeah, I don't think I'm panicked on Dalvin Cook, but he's not. He's just not getting the same workloads he's gotten in the past.
Yep, I agree. Tony, what do you think about Cook?
I don't know that I agree with that. I think he's not maybe overly utilized in the pass game, but he touched the ball 26 times yesterday. Yeah, that's heavy utilization. He hasn't been very efficient with his touches. Um, so I think that's hurt him, but it's hard. I mean, you can't touch the ball, too many more times than 26. That's a heavy workload. He did have 4 catches, just again not highly efficient, and they've got some good weapons. Obviously, Justin Jefferson, arguably the best receiver right now in the game. Hawkinson is a big part of what they do. Thielen has been playing really solid, and so I just think Dalvin Cook is not. They don't lean on him maybe they did the way they did in years past. So even Justin Jefferson, getting the red zone looks, getting they definitely want to pass the football.
But you're not panicked on him.
I'm not panicked on Dalvin Cook. I'm not even panicked on Kamara. They both get enough utilization, I think, in the passing game for me to pardon them. I just think when you're talking about ranking guys, I would prefer to have Ramondre Stevenson, who just he's been ridiculously good in that offense.
Yeah, honestly, Kamara's receptions are the only thing making him relevant at all in a PPR league. I mean, when he's finishing a game with 7 points in a PPR game, but he had 6 receptions, that's horrible. I mean, he's doing so bad.
And conversely, Ramondre Stevenson, 10 targets, 9 catches, 76 yards. I mean, 9 catches PPR. You've got to rush for 90 yards to hit that 9-point number. So he's getting
CMC usage.
It's crazy.
Old CMC usage.
Yeah, I mean, in working, oh man, I mean, I'm just looking at his targets throughout the season. He gets at least 5 most games, and then he's got 8, 7, 7, 6, 10. Like his target counts, and there's not many incompletions in there. Most of those are 8 for 8, 7 for 7, 6 for 6, 9 for 10. Like,
yeah,
wow.
If you don't own him and you're not paying attention, you have no idea what this guy's been doing.
Yep.
He's just under the radar guy. I don't know of another running back in fantasy who is an under the radar RB1 like Ramondre Stevenson.
Yep.
No, usually people are all over guys like that. This year is just, I think it's because of the team he plays for. People just have a hard time trusting Belichick.
Yep.
It's like
fair point.
Stevenson's kind of proven like you kind of have to get over that at some point.
I'm gonna finish off Alvin Kamara here. I'm putting him on my panic. He's on the downhill side of his career. He doesn't have Sean Payton. That offense is a mess. He's just not efficient, and I don't want any part of Alvin Kamara. Plus, who knows what his suspension is going to look like when that comes along. Get him out of here. I don't like Kamara. All right, let's see. I'm going to chant. Is Geno the real deal?
Seems to be. I didn't expect it either, but it seems to be.
Wild.
Took him a while to grow into it, but
I'm mad about it because I was making fun of it all off season with the Seahawks. Like, what the hell are they doing?
Here's the funny thing. It seems like he actually learned something from Russell Wilson the last few years. So good for him.
Well, I think we're learning that Russell Wilson was a product of that system. So whatever they got going on there, that system is working out pretty good for Geno as well.
I think Russell Wilson had some legitimate talent. I don't think he's a product of that system, but I just don't think he has much left in his system.
Yeah. Jorge thinks that they should sign him long term. I mean, he's 32. It's hard to say. Let's
Is
see.
Geno 32 already?
Yeah. He's
Wow.
been in the league for 9 years.
Wow, it didn't seem like that long.
Right? Should I pick up Zonovan White?
Zonovan Knight.
Knight. But
Really?
yes, I would.
I would.
Yeah,
I would.
I was like,
we
Zonovan.
talked about him earlier in the stream.
Yep. What's y'all stance on Antonio Gibson? I hate him. He's a Commander. A Dallas Cowboys fan. Not a fan of Antonio Gibson. Oh, you mean like fantasy football? Sorry. Kyle, I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to see Brian Robinson have such a better game than him this week. Seems like they're really wanting Robinson to be their guy big time. I really like Gibson's had some good games. He might still have some spot good games, but you can't rely on him as more than a flex because you just don't know what that split's going to look like from week to week, apparently.
Apparently that's the case.
Yeah, he's a tricky one.
You got anything else to add on that, Tony?
I like Gibson. I don't know that I disagree with anything that Kyle said. I think with the loss of J.D. McKissick, it definitely has given Gibson a very nice boost. I don't think he's a flex. I would put him personally probably more in the low end RB2, high end RB3. I do think he has upside in this offense. Just, some of it has to do with game script, and he's not the primary ball carrier, but I do think he's going to have a solid role rest of the season.
I kind of agree with that. McKissick out has boosted him quite a bit.
But 100%.
That's kind of a little bit of a lightning and thunder thing they got going on there too. CMC news. The team has announced that CMC has knee pain. Alert. Surprise. Dude, our deadline is tonight, and I just did it. Rashad White and Josh Palmer for Lockett. You lost.
Yep. You lost.
But seriously.
The Lockett love finally comes back to get you.
Well, enjoy watching the playoffs. I have Herbert, JT, Ramondre, J. Jennison. Good Lord. How can you upgrade? Well, apparently you can upgrade Pierce. Let's see. You're starting JT and Ramondre.
Trade Keenan and Pierce and try to upgrade it. QB.
Yeah, I was going to say QB is... Who's your tight end? I don't see a tight end in there.
Yeah, I'd use Keenan or Pierce paired up with Herbert and try to upgrade that QB spot.
Yeah, or your tight end, depending on who that is. If you didn't list them, there must not be that great. But yeah, I would do that. Otherwise, good Lord, that's a great team. Yeah, glad I kept JT. Yeah, dude, he's...
Even though you tried to give him away for weeks.
You tried. I'm 7-5, half PPR 10-man league roster. You can see it there. Trades for playoffs. Deadline is the 30th. Okay, you get a couple extra days in there. Fields, Watson, Goddard. Jesus. You need running backs. You got enough Cowboys on there, my man? Pollard, Lamb, Schultz. They have a down week. You're screwed. Jeez. Dak, Pollard, Lamb, Schultz.
Yeah.
You just ride and die at those Cowboys. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I'd be trying to use Palmer, Garrett Wilson more. Try to get another running back.
Sell high on Pollard. So real high on Pollard. Yeah, I would upgrade running back. For sure. If you get Goddard back, I don't know how long he's out, but if you get Goddard back, that'll help you a lot. But Schultz is a great fill-in until then too, so you're not hurting there much. So, what is this? Oh, I'm in a 10-man keeper league. Which one would you keep? He's got Godwin. He's got Goodwin, Waddle, Sean Watson, or Barkley. 10-man keeper league. Which one would you keep?
Barkley.
Yeah, I'd keep Barkley there. Tony, you got any differing opinion on who to keep there?
He has to decide now.
I don't know.
Maybe his season's over, and he's just trying to.
You only
That's
get
true.
one.
Trade away the ones he's not keeping or something.
Jay is coming to our show one time and plans on never returning, and so he needs this answer right now.
You only get one keeper.
Maybe.
Apparently.
Or that he's already got his other one chosen.
Let's assume he does.
Let's assume he only has one keeper. Well, I think you got to scratch Watson because you can find guys at the quarterback position, right?
Right.
And I think
touching Watson.
Yeah, I would probably also scratch Godwin.
Watson would touch you.
I know. He'd let me touch him, but I don't want to.
Just because we know how good he is with Brady, but I don't know where that offense is going to be next year, where Brady's going to be next year. So it's between Waddle and Barkley. And assuming they're both healthy, I don't know how you don't keep Barkley.
Yeah. Let's see. Playoffs. That's something the Raiders won't know this season. Ouch. Tony, you got a dig at you there. Your poor Raiders.
Can I block? Am I allowed to block people from?
Nope.
You just got sushi'd.
Listen, we're Cowboys fans that have to eat shit from these Eagles fans every week. You're taking this one. You're taking this one on the chin, bud.
Whatever.
Higbee D. Cook for Stevenson Schultz. Jeff trade.
Yeah, if you can get that, I'd love that.
Yep.
That I would do.
Is it worth starting Christian Watson over Debo?
I'm not ready for that yet.
I think matchup week to week. You playing matchups there?
I'm still in Debo.
Let's see.
Eventually, that bottom's going to fall out on those TDs for Watson.
Oh, we'll see. I don't know. Makes me nervous that we keep saying that, and then he'll just keep scoring.
Like Damian Harris last year. He's so TD dependent, and then he just kept scoring touchdowns.
Here's the thing, guys. I have Watson. I picked him up. He has done well, but I have not put him in my starting lineup yet. As soon as I put him in my starting lineup, he will not do well. So that's.
We had him in one of our joint leagues in the starting lineup this week.
Oh, did we? Fantastic. Love that. We must have been desperate.
We broke the curse.
Do I trade Debo for Keenan Allen? Also traded away Mixon for D-Hop. Opinions on that trade? I like the Mixon for D-Hop.
Yeah, I like that.
Debo for Keenan Allen? Tony, what do you think of that?
Has Keenan Allen played a full game this year?
I think he just did. He just
did this week.
Game?
He just did this week, and it was an okay game.
He had 15.9 points. He was in on 89% of the snaps.
Against a horrible Arizona defense.
If Keenan Allen was able to complete a game and I own him, I'm trying to trade the guy before he's...
My thoughts exactly. I don't trust those hammies, dude.
What's Debo been dealing with?
No, we're talking about Keenan.
I know, but what's Debo been dealing with? He's had injury too, right? What was his injury? You said you don't trust hammies. Was Debo's also a hammy, though? Granted, he wasn't out for 8 freaking weeks with a hamstring, so.
Yeah.
But yes, I would prefer to have Debo over Keenan Allen. But I like trading away Mixon and getting D-Hop. Would you start Zonovan Knight over Antonio Gibson? We don't know that running back situation yet. We don't know Michael Carter's injury enough right now.
Let's hold out and see what happens with that first.
Yeah. What do you guys think of David Montgomery? I like him.
I like him a lot more now with Fields and Herbert out. I mean,
I just like him more with Herbert out, period.
Yeah, I like him more with Herbert out. But, I mean, he's not that type of running back that's going to get you 25 or 30 a week, though. Like, he's an RB2. It is what it is.
Tony F wants to know what's y'all's guess on JT, where he ranks the rest of the season.
What the F?
AF.
He's asking me. He's just putting it out there. He says,
I'm asking you. I'm punting this one to you.
Yeah.
Since you probably have 12 guys you'd put over him just off the top of your head.
No, I think I got JT. I think I got JT in my top 5. Easy. I think maybe top 4, top 3. You know, with Jeff Saturday there as a head coach and kind of refocusing that offense. You know, JT would have had a much better night tonight if he didn't fumble that ball going into the end zone. So I like him a lot rest of the season.
I was going to say, with Jeff Saturday, the workloads he's been getting plus his remaining schedule, yeah, he's top 5 rest of the season for me.
Yeah, JT not getting that goal line touchdown lost me a game by less than half a point. So
I hate that he still has a bye week to go. But
yeah, bye week on week 14 really sucks. So what running back do I target for playoffs now? The ones that are doing the best. I don't ones with the easiest remaining schedule that are performing it too. That's such a tough question. Ramondre Stevenson, not Joe Mixon. Jonathan Taylor's a good one.
If you can still get a hold of guys like Walker and Jeff Wilson, I'd be trying to move for those guys too.
Here's my running backs to target: Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, not bad. Ramondre Stevenson, Jeff Wilson Jr. is pretty decent too.
James Conner's a good one.
James Conner is a good one.
Maybe you could still sneak in someone who thinks they're trying to sell high real quick.
Did I say Travis Etienne?
No.
These are all really good ones to try to go after for your team. Honestly, being a smartass, but it's also true. Am I wrong? And yes, it's one keeper for Jay's team earlier. So Barkley, I think you got to do it. Oh, the faders. Ouch. He said, sorry, Tony, had to. That's good. I've never heard the faders. That's pretty good. Man, we got some shaders here in the chat tonight, throwing that shade at you, Tony. Man. Godwin or Pierce moving forward? I believe Godwin myself. Anton, yes.
I agree.
Yeah, Pierce is just not getting it done right now. So, ouch. Here's a great question. Sushi wants to know, how can I play against you guys in DraftKings? Well, glad you asked. In the description of our 4-hour FF Interactive live event there on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, there is a link. And within that link, you'll be able to enter your email address. If we have your email address, we'll be able to send you a link. We'll send it out every Friday or Saturday to our DraftKings event. And you just click on that link and you should be entered into the FF Interactive DraftKings event so that you can win one of these beautiful shirts. So, yep. And if you're not getting that email, if you've already given me your email, Sushi, and you're not getting that, let me know. Just write me on YouTube and stuff. We'll make sure we get your email address updated. Here we go. This is a good one. Is Pat Freiermuth a PaNiC? I think he's on here. Oh, you didn't put him on the list. I thought he was.
No, he's not a PaNiC for me anyways.
Yep. I agree. Pat Freiermuth, not a PaNiC. But let's talk about some other tight ends while we're here. How about Gerald Everett, who played against Arizona and didn't do that much at all? Tony, I know you love talking about this matchup against Arizona for tight ends. What the hell is up with Gerald Everett? Damn it.
Well, I think the problem with Gerald Everett is as the receiving core gets healthy, Keenan Allen back, they lean so heavily on Eckler that it's going to hurt Everett's numbers. What helped Everett earlier in the season was the whole entire receiving core was out. It was basically him and Palmer. So that's no longer the case. I guess I would call it a panic. I mean, he's a backup tight end. He's a tight end 2 now.
I agree.
Yeah. If you can't get done against Arizona, get out of here. And now you got Keenan Allen back. I mean, Palmer's doing well, and they lean on Eckler. Gerald Everett's he's not even tertiary at this point. He's just dropped so far off of the map there. Let's talk about Trey McBride taking over with Ertz being out. What do you think about Trey McBride?
Yeah, it's funny because, like, I know we nuance these things all the time based on what you expect and all that crap, but honestly, like, Trey McBride, if I picked him up after Ertz went out and rely on him as a starter, I'm panicked because they don't use him the same way they use Ertz.
Yeah, I agree with that. Doesn't
seem to be the same level of trust there. As far as I saw you dragged out Marquise Brown there, I'm not panicked on him yet. First week back from injury. Yeah, he had a rough week, but I think he'll get back up to speed and figure out a way to be efficient in this offense alongside DeAndre Hopkins.
Were you surprised that he got 97% of the snap count, Marquise Brown?
Yeah.
I was.
That was pretty high. But like you said, I think they just got to find a way for him to be efficient alongside D-Hop now. And I think that'll happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think they'll figure that out.
Especially if they can't use Trey McBride.
I feel like it's going to be a lot of the A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, same kind of deal, though. Devontae Smith still kind of playing second fiddle to A.J. Brown. Same thing. Marquise Brown's going to play second fiddle there. So
I do, but I think he'll be used more than Devontae Smith is.
No, I agree with that, too. Okay. So, Tony, you're kind of agreeing with that? Marquise Brown, not a panic?
Yeah, I'm not panicked on Marquise.
Trey McBride, panic? I don't know that you even had high expectations for Trey McBride.
Did you expect Trey McBride to be a guy
that answer is exactly why I brought that up, how we nuance these things. But, I mean, if you picked him up to replace Ertz after the injury, then, yeah, you're probably panicked because you expect him to get at least close to Ertz numbers or targets.
He's not even scratching the surface there. Yeah.
He's not even close.
I agree with that. I'm not. How about Taysom Hill, the guy who was supposed to be utilized more going forward? Tony, what do you think about Taysom?
I'm officially off the Taysom Hill train. I drank the Kool-Aid one too many times on Taysom Hill, believing the coaches are going to get him more incorporated in that offense, and I'm done now. So, yeah.
They turned
Taysom Hill is dead to me.
I like this analysis on Sleeper. It says Hill's usage has gone down as of late, with the Saints coaching staff even stating they needed to get the veteran more involved.
Seriously.
God. I mean, they've turned Juwan Johnson into a borderline tight end 1, like, instead. So,
yeah.
So we're going to panic on Hill again at a different time of the year here, just because we brought him back from the dead, and now.
Yeah, I think we panicked on him in like week 4 and then resurrected him, and now it's like, all right, get rid of him for good.
Right. Let's see. Trade Kenneth Walker for CeeDee Lamb. It says I want a wide receiver.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, trade Najee or Mixon for a receiver, not JT or Walker.
Yeah, I would try to keep him. Even if you maybe want to go like a little lower tier than CeeDee Lamb.
I think you can trade Mixon for CD just as easily.
Maybe.
Unless whoever you're trading with is just stuck on getting Walker, but I wouldn't go this direction.
Yeah. Dude, I had number 1 waiver wire and chose Taysom over K9.
Oh, yikes.
Oh.
Holy crap, bro.
Oh, no. That hurts. That hurts. Jorge wants to know, Tony, is Carr the problem for the Raiders? What's your thought? I have a lot of Raider friends. Well, that's your problem right there, Jorge. You have a lot of Raider friends.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think the problem with the Raiders is we're seeing the exact opposite with them as compared to like the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks have totally throttled the NFL draft the past couple seasons, which is why they have this young core of guys who look just, playing out of their minds and surprising a lot of people. On the other hand, the Raiders they've botched draft after draft. Mike Mayock turned out not to be a very good GM. And a lot of their top draft picks are no longer even on the roster, so it's hard to compete in this league when you are not only doing a decent job in the draft, but when you are just taking guys in the first and second round who no longer are on your roster a year or two later. So that's a killer.
Yeah.
Cleveland Farrell, and they cut Jonathan Abram. They didn't pick up the 5th-year option on Jacobs. I don't know what they were thinking.
Now he's playing best football of his career.
Yeah, the kid the receiver they took out of Alabama, who's who they cut. Arnett, the cornerback that they took in the first or early second round that they cut. It's like it's just player after player after player. And if Carr was the second coming of an early Tom Brady, what sinks the team more than anything is destroying your roster with poor drafts. So I don't think this is a Carr issue. This is they've kind of sunk this team through the draft and not doing a very good job.
Thank you for that analysis and breakdown.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree. Couldn't have said it better myself. Jan wants to know, we starting Zeke or Pollard from now on? Which one are you starting? If you have Pollard. Both. I'm trusting, I think, Pollard more often.
Yeah. Pollard's just way more explosive. Yeah. I could see him. He has a much better chance of getting that hot hand.
That kind of goes right along here with Jorge saying Pollard will stay or sign somewhere else. Who do you guys want to see him sign?
I think Dallas ends up signing Pollard. I think we'll let Zeke go this offseason finally.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
It's too obvious to everybody in the building who the better running back is now. So
I think you're right, but he's going to want some good money. And I don't blame him. Like, I've waited my turn. So,
well, luckily he'll still be cheaper than what we're paying Zeke right now. So
he better be, Jesus. Sushi, I think Henry Ruggs is killing it.
Yeah, here. Look, I'm looking at their 2020 draft. They picked Ruggs and Arnett in the first round. Both were cut. They pick Lynn Bowden in the 3rd round. He's off the team. Brian Edwards in the 3rd round. He's off the team. Tanner Muse in the 3rd round. He's off the team. This is just 2 years ago.
Good Lord.
Well,
Cleveland Farrell, they took him 4th overall. Jonathan Abram, he's gone. Trayvon Mullen. I mean, this is like it's just.
Well, what's funny is I can't remember the exact names now, but like the receivers that they took Ruggs ahead of in that draft were just ridiculous. Yeah. I think.
Well, and
I think that was the draft where like Waddle and Chase went after him, right? If I'm remembering correctly. So it's like, holy crap! Imagine if they.
Yeah. Well, and they took Alex Leatherwood as a 1st-round pick as an offensive lineman.
I remember that pick.
Heavily ridiculed for that, and he was cut. So that's the problem with the Raiders.
Yep.
Okay, Jan wants to know defense streams for next week. Welcome over from IG, by the way, man. Thank you for coming on over. Streams for next week's defense. Now I got to see if I can find.
I like the Packers if Fields is still out.
I also like Seattle at the Rams.
Mm-hmm. Cleveland against Houston, I like a lot.
Those are all streamers.
Yep. Yeah, that Seattle against the Rams could be decent. I mean, I doubt they probably won't even bring Matt Stafford back this season, right? My guess.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Which also means Kupp is not coming back this year. Kupp will not come back this year. There's zero reason for them to bring Kupp back this year.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them to bring Matt Stafford back this year. They're done. Dead in the water. So, yeah.
Hey, Kyle, receivers taken after Henry Ruggs. Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson in the first round. Then T. Higgins, Michael Pittman. Ayuk went after him. It's just, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Brutal.
Dear.
They took him. He was the first receiver they could have taken any receiver in the draft. They were the first team to take a receiver, and they took Ruggs.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, all right, let's move on.
Before Tony starts playing.
All right, you finish your flavored water there, Tony. I saw that down. I appreciate. All right, let's see. We got Mecole Hardman and James Robinson for Garrett Wilson trade finally paid off. Only had to wait 2 weeks.
There you go.
Yeah.
The fact that somebody took James Robinson off your team is amazing.
What a blessing.
Well, it was 2 weeks ago, so that makes a little more sense. But
what a blessing.
Now he's number 4 in the chart.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for tonight's Panic Room. Join us tomorrow for a 4-hour live event, FF Interactive. We're giving away a free Cam Akers signed jersey along with some other stuff. Come have some fun. Listen to all 13 analysts. And, yeah, we'll see you then.
See ya.